We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Justin, not Bieber, on Facebook. All right, after our previous discussions about high-res audio players, Justin decided to get the Onkyo DPX1A. This is like a mini player majigger thingy, right?
I mean,
high-res audio.
It's actually a little bigger than a smartphone because it's thicker.
Right. But I mean, it's like it's a portable player, but it does high-end stuff,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. High resolution. I won't say high-end.
Yep.
High resolution. Overall, he likes it, and he likes the ability of the included Onkyo Music Player app, but he finds navigating his music library in that app to be lacking. It's really just a file folder structure, and the names. I feel like we mentioned this at the time. And the names of the songs are in text, no album art or anything that looks nice like Kodi or Plex. So, is there an alternative app that wouldn't give up any of the Onkyo's app features, but would look nicer? This player uses Android, by the way. Mm-hmm. So there's a bunch of Android players. I mean, if you could just download any old app, is that something that you can do with this? Because I feel like I was told of an app. I've never used it, but I think it's called Phono, Phono.
Okay.
That like it's an app player that you drop your music in and it'll spit it out whatever resolution it is. But I may be wrong about that. I will actually search for it while I am.
Okay.
While Rob is answering the question.
I mean, truthfully, I'm still not an Android user yet. I really have no firsthand experience, and I don't know if anything, because all I'm going to do is go off a list of ranked Android music players. So this isn't my information. That's about the best I could do. And you know, Justin's very good at doing his own research on this stuff, so he's probably come across the exact same list. So I don't know if I'm adding anything for Justin in particular, but everyone seems to recommend the Neutron music player because it does, 32 and even 64-bit audio. I've never even heard of such a thing, honestly. But yeah, it can do the high-res audio. I have no idea whether the interface is prettier, whether it does a better job of library management. I have no clue, but that's the one a lot of people mention. And then Power Amp music player also seems to be popular. That one has like a more advanced equalizer and stuff than others. So if that was something he was really keen on, then Power Amp music player might be an option. But again, no idea if it's prettier. Yeah, they have free trials though. So hey, give it a try for 14 days or 30 days or whatever the free trial is. Can't hurt, right?
You need to continue to talk for a second.
Yeah,
well, I'm trying to find this thing.
On this one, I'm tapped out. I mean, there's some others that are listed, but none of them seem to have all the same capabilities as those first two. I don't know. There's a Rocket music player, a Mix Zing music player. I mean, the list goes on and on. We'll have the list that I'm reading off of posted over at avrant.com. But yeah, you stumped me on that one because it's not something I'm terribly familiar with. In fact, the Onkyo music player app is one that gets mentioned because it's good at playing back high resolution files. But yeah, it shows, the Onkyo one shows the album art once something is actually playing. It just doesn't have it, in the menu selection when you're, thumbing through your library. So,
oh my God, I think this thing is giving me them in chronological order that I downloaded them. I looked at Phono and it didn't show me what I was looking for. So let me just search one more time in PHO. I may be completely wrong about that.
Sure, it wasn't Pono.
It very well could have been. I don't know,
because Pono was a whole separate thing of its own.
This looks like it.
Thing seems to be kind of gone.
Do I have this? It is installed. It's called Phonograph Music Player.
Okay.
I don't know if this will do what you want. I was told, let me see, easy to use, blah, 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 blah. Create, blah, 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 blah. I don't know.
I mean, since everybody online talks about it, I'd certainly give the Neutron player a look. It's a 5-day free trial on there, but that's enough to at least see if the thing gives you album art and plays back your files, right? So, $5 if you want to keep it.
I don't know. I think the one I'm suggesting is free, but I don't know if it's going to do what he wants. So, Phonograph, that's what it's called.
Okay.
Anyways, it's really hard to navigate with my left hand. And it's weird. Anyways, that's what I could find. So he's been trying out the Tidal app. With the Onkyo app, it bypasses all of the Android's OS settings, audio settings, and uses its own. The Tidal app doesn't seem to offer all of these same setting options, though. So can he assume it defaults to whatever the sound settings are that the OS at the OS level? Tidal app. I've read this question. This must be the 10th time I've read it. I still don't know what he's asking. With the Onkyo app, it bypasses all the Android OS audio settings and uses its own.
So, I mean, I guess that's how it plays back high-resolution files and all that. Right. I mean, the thing to know about Tidal is that Tidal is 16-bit 44.1. That is the stream that's reaching you. Yeah. So any OS will be able to handle that. I mean, essentially, they're saying you don't need additional settings because the file that's coming is it's a CD file.
Right, I can understand that.
Yeah.
He says the Onkyo player says it supports MQA, and the Tidal says they offer MQA, but the Tidal app for Android doesn't seem to mention MQA. Only the Tidal desktop app does. Why would this be? And could he use the Onkyo's web browser to get the MQA version? I did look at this, and it does say explicitly MQA is only available in the desktop version.
Yes.
Only available.
This is in Tidal's own FAQ about their master quality files.
Why is that? Probably because they don't think your phone will be able to do it, and it's just going to cause them more headaches than not. I mean, I can't. That's the reason I think that they do it. I don't know if that's actually the reason that they do it. But could you stream from their website? It does seem like it should work, but
because it's not their web player. It is specifically their desktop computer app. It's a separate program.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So this isn't happening through a web browser. It's you download the Tidal program for a computer, Mac or PC, and that's the only place right now that you can play back these MQA files. Which, of course, is a disappointment because one of the whole reasons he was looking for this portable player is he wanted one that supported MQA. Now, it does if you go out and buy files that are encoded in MQA from a place like 2L.
But this is not the app. This is not the app's problem. This is Tidal's problem.
This is Tidal's problem, which means at some point Tidal could simply update their Android app to support this. So it doesn't mean that this is necessarily forever and ever. Yeah.
So he's a bit confused by the Onkyo's DSD capabilities and its USB DSD output settings. Does the USB DSD output mean he can only use DSD when he's outputting to an external device that is also DSD compatible? There's a lot of DSDs in that sentence. Would he be able to use it with his Emotiva PT100's USB input? Now, the Emotiva PT USB is like a stereo preamp, right?
It is a stereo preamp, yes.
Does it accept DSD?
No.
Well, then no, you can't.
Well, at least I couldn't find a single mention of it anywhere on the website or in the manual.
I did not look in the manual, but I did go to the website and search for DSD on all of the different pages on the Onkyo's website, and it was like, nope, it didn't show up once.
On the Emotiva website?
Emotiva, yeah.
Yeah, the Emotiva. Yeah, I didn't see any mention of it. Now, this is a little bit confusing to me because, okay, so first of all, to answer the question, does DSD only work when he's outputting from the Onkyo via USB to a DSD decoding device? DSD stands for Direct Stream Digital, by the way. That's Sony's whole 1-bit audio program where it just runs it at megahertz. So it's a different thing. But yeah, the Onkyo, the player that you got, it can decode DSD itself.
Right.
It can even do a thing that most players won't do, which is most players will take DSD and convert it to PCM, pulse code modulation, which is the normal digital audio that we're used to. A lot of players will take DSD, convert it to PCM, and then either convert that from digital to analog themselves or output it as PCM to some other device, which basically every device with the digital input can understand PCM, the Emotiva included. So you could do that. The Onkyo could take your DSD files, convert them to PCM. You output PCM via USB, and the Emotiva could decode that. That could happen. But the Onkyo can do something interesting, which is it can take PCM files and convert them to DSD, which not many things do, but it's capable of doing that. Now, the Onkyo itself, one of the reasons that you got it is because it has very capable DACs. And I say capable, not necessarily good, because the sound of the DACs won't be different. It's just that the capabilities of the DAC are impressive in that it can handle very, very high sampling rates of both PCM and DSD, which not all DACs can. Not all digital to analog converters can handle the sampling rates that this Onkyo player can handle. So the whole idea is to use that player as your digital to analog converter and output analog. And in fact, its headphone output that it has, its regular 3.5 millimeter headphone jack that it has, can be set to a line out mode.
Oh, nice.
Rather than a headphone output, meaning it's not going through the headphone amplifier.
Right.
It's a clean analog line out signal that you could certainly plug into your Emotiva. And that's the whole idea, is to let the Onkyo do all the digital decoding.
Isn't that what he wanted? I seem to remember that's what he wanted.
Yeah.
He wanted to have something that was basically like a portable player and a portable DAC that he could use as a DAC. And now he's asking if he can use it as a source.
As a digital source,
Yeah,
and let the
source.
Emotiva handle the digital to analog conversion.
That just seems silly.
Which to me kind of defeats the purpose of buying this particular player, because this particular player has digital to analog conversion capabilities that the Emotiva doesn't have. So the whole idea would be to let the Onkyo do all the digital to analog conversion, set its headphone output to line out mode, and then you just have stereo connection, stereo RCA, red and white plugs that plug into your Emotiva. That would be the connection path.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
He says RBH has put the entire Impression series on clearance, and they appear to be sold out of pretty much everything, which I guess good for them at clearing out there, but bad for all of you who were thinking about it and thinking they were going to be around forever. Rumor on the forums is that they're switching to a new veneer or cabinet supplier, but nothing has been confirmed. Do we have any inside scoop? Nope.
I do not.
Nope.
Now, they do have a thing right on the Impression Series web pages saying, contact us for an ETA of when these will be back in stock, which makes me think another big production run in China is happening. There'll be a boat filled with a big container of these speakers, and eventually they'll be
containers,
back.
I would imagine, but yes. I wouldn't worry too much about it. These things have sold and are very popular, and I imagine they're going to stay around for quite some time. And unlike manufacturers who start basement manufacturers or garage manufacturers who start off and they have one line, this is like this line of speakers that they have many lines of speakers. They have many sources of revenue. So I don't see them jacking up these prices, even though I have told them personally on multiple occasions, these things are too cheap.
This is their entry-level direct via internet line that they have. This might, this is purely speculation on my part, but this might explain why some of the people who bought the Impression series recently, they've had cabinet issues. Which was very disappointing to us because that wasn't the case earlier on. Maybe tail end of the production run, the company that they're ousting. Again, pure speculation, but maybe they're like, yeah, we know this is the end. We cut a few corners here and there. Like that could have been the case. So again, everyone who's had an issue, they got in touch with RBH. They got a replacement. So it wasn't like they didn't stand behind the product, but it was disappointing that some people had issues. Maybe they are. Maybe the rumor is true. Usually these types of rumors, when they're posted on knowledgeable forums, don't usually come from absolutely nowhere.
Right.
So I could see that. That's all entirely plausible.
Does seem that way. He says, lastly, he uses the Shure SE215 in-ear monitors, but he finds that with their hook around the ear cord design, they're a slight hassle to put in and take out. This would be fine if you could leave them in for extended periods of time, but with a kid at home and another on the way, and neighbors who like to stop and talk to him when he's out walking the dog, he's finding the design to be a bit of a hassle. So I liked earbuds that sound as good as the SE215s, but are faster and easier to put in and take out, like his old
Xiaomi
Pistons. All right, I'm not mad that this is in a different language. I'm mad that I don't know how to pronounce this, and I should.
Well, I didn't pronounce it right either. I got the inflection all wrong. I'm certain. So
I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure about that too. Anyways, Xiaomi Pistons. He's looked around, and the $99 one more triple driver earbuds. Is that a real name?
that's what one more is the title. It's the numeral one in the word more. That's their brand, and then the triple driver is the model.
Wow, that's weird. One more triple driver earbuds seem to be getting universal praise, and he's willing to spend as much as $200 if there's something that sounds substantially better, though. So, any suggestions? Now, just for those of us that have never worn these headphones, is this one of the ones that has like a hook? The SE 215s have like the thing is a hook, and it kind of goes around your ear.
If you're looking at the YouTube video, it's what I'm wearing right now. So
I can look at that.
The cord comes out the top of the earbud. It goes up and over your ear, and that keeps it more secure. But then, it takes a moment to take them in and out.
Is the cable hard or firm right there?
Yeah, it's got a memory to it, so it holds its shape. So yeah, if I pop that out, you can see.
Yeah. I've got headphones like that too. Okay, good. The ones he's looking at are just basically like a wire that just hangs down. All right,
more or less,
your normal earbuds, right?
Yeah, so I mean, these aren't quite like Apple earbuds. Like the actual ear tip goes into your ear canal a little bit more, but these you just push them in your ear and that's it. Yeah.
I am gonna say that I'm if he likes these, and I have always found that the hook around the ear one was more convenient when people were talking to me. And let me tell you why. Yes, they're a little bit of a pain to get in and out. I got really good at it because I'm like you. I've got 3 kids, and I would usually wear them at sporting events, so I don't have to hear my children fail, which is generally what they do. You know, they're out there sucking at soccer or whatever it is that they're doing. It's very disappointing. So I try not to watch. So because I'm not like a soccer dad or whatever, baseball dad, whatever. I just find it's a lot more relaxing if I'm not hearing all the rest of the parents freaking out and yelling and screaming and stuff. And I can just listen to music and then watch the game. And that keeps me from getting too emotionally involved or yelling out or doing anything like that. I believe that my job as a parent is to shut up and let the coach do what the coach does. And I have no part in that. My job is to get them to practice on time and take them home and then maybe talk to them about a few things if I feel like it, but always defer to the coach. So by me being able to listen to music, so whenever I have an earbud that's just got a straight cord coming off of it, and I want to take it out so I could talk to somebody, I take it and I kind of throw it over my shoulder because if not, it kind of hangs and I sit on it or something ends up in a weird place. So I throw it over my shoulder. Well, inevitably it falls off at some point. I'm turning it falls off. With the little hook, you hook it on your collar.
Oh, okay.
And
I just leave it hooked over my ear.
Well, yeah, but that I find like people are like, I think it's rude to have the earbud that close to your ear while you're talking to somebody. I just take it out, I hook it onto my collar, and then they know I'm listening to them with the one good ear, and the other one, who knows what's going on in there? Maybe I'm just so that my phone rings, I can hear it over the crowd or whatever. So if you're really dead set on this, there are. And I think we just talked about this in the recent podcast. There is no correlation between price and quality.
Right.
So if people are giving these good reviews, first of all, who are these people, and where are these reviews, and do you have any objective data about it? Because Head-Fi, is that where it is? Head-Fi.org measures a bunch of stuff. So
Inner Fidelity certainly does.
Inner Fidelity, check out these websites where they actually look at the performance of the headphones. And you say you like the Shure SE215s, I guarantee you they've got a measurement of it someplace.
Oh yeah.
Find the measurement. Find another earbud that has a measurement that's that's similar to what you're used to and you like, but it has a different design. Bob's your uncle.
Now, I'll just mention about the 215s themselves, since I'm very familiar with them. If you've been using the foam tips, those ones, you do have to kind of squish them down before you put them in your ear, then hold your finger there for a little while the foam re-expands so that it seats properly
just like
in your ear.
Earplugs, yeah.
That's absolutely, more time-consuming and a bit more of a hassle. I use the silicone ear tips.
I do as well.
Which, I mean, maybe you don't get quite as perfect a seal, but if they fit nicely, those ones you can pop in and out pretty darn quick. I mean, once you just learn the little trick of pulling down on your earlobe so that you can push the ear tip in.
Right.
With the silicone tips, I find them very quick. So that could be something, if you just haven't tried the silicone tips or didn't find them immediately comfortable, or just found the foam tips to be better, switch them over, give that a try, because that could solve your problem right there for free. As far as the earbuds go, that's just not a product category that I'm familiar with. I don't spend any time auditioning
There's
earbuds.
a bajillion earbuds and ear headphones out there. It'd be impossible for us to keep up on all that and all the other stuff we do. So we're going to have to defer to those. Now, I will say that is one thing. Rob is absolutely right. The silicone tips, I used to always like the foam ones because they sealed better, and I knew they would fit and stay in. Okay. I knew they would fit and stay in. But the silicone tips, I was always like, I'd switch them out, and like one would fit and the other one would fit. There was some part of my brain that could not wrap itself around the fact that you don't have to have the same size tip on both headphones.
Yes, you need the tip that fits the ear on that side. That's what matters.
Every time I switched one tip, I switched the other one. Why? I don't know. But once I got myself out of that mindset, and Rob's right. The thing about the earbuds that have the little ear hook that comes over it, is that you could just hook it there. It kind of hangs where it's supposed to go, and then you take your two fingers, you pull your earlobe down, you take your middle finger, you just stick it in, and then let go of your earlobe, and you're done. I mean, I could do it one-handed while do those headphones one-handed while mowing the grass.
I just did it while Tom was talking. If you're watching the videos, and that was it.
So it's very easy to do. So if it's still, if it's just not something you're interested in, you're gonna have to do your own research here. We'll give you the tools, but you're the one who's interested. And triple driver, double driver, the in-ear piece ones that I've had are very good, and I think they have dual drivers in them, and I like them a lot. So there's a lot of them out there, but you're just going to have to look at what you've got and try to find something that sounds similar, and then see if you can figure out a way to test them out, because there might not be a way to do that. You might just have to take it on faith. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.